other day I was talking with one of my sisters. Hi sis. And we were just having, general conversation, and then we got onto the subject of health and food and diet and things like that. So my sister mentioned to me that she's starting to drink on a regular basis sorrel and ginger as a mix, and she's using these as a kind of tonic, just to help her with general wellness every day, and she's trying to keep it old school. And then she was telling me that one of her friends is currently taking about 15 to 20 medications a day for whatever ailments that person has. Now I know her friend we're all within the same age range, and it was like a wow moment just thinking that someone or this age bracket can really be living day to day, having to take that much medication. And from that, my sister and I started to talk generally about why is it that our age range seems to be in poorer health than our parents and grandparents. If you notice that when you're watching TV on a regular now, you start seeing a lot of ads for ways to manage one's sickness, not one's health, but ways to manage one's sickness. And a lot of the pharmaceutical companies now are creating these very lavish type of lifestyle ads, where what they're doing is that they're acknowledging that people my age range get sick and are sick, and they are giving us pharmaceutical solutions to manage the sickness, not to make the sickness go away, not to get to a standard level of health, but really to manage the ailment. Look at some of those ads. They'll show you a lifestyle of someone, for example, who has diabetes or high blood pressure or something, along those lines. And then they will show you the lifestyle that person can have once they're taking that pharmaceutical drug. So the person is sick, but they can still live a relatively comfortable life as long as they continue utilizing that pharmaceutical medicine. So after having that conversation with my sister, I'm starting to think more and more about why are we the generation that has gone away from the old school way of maintaining our health. What you see behind me were the kind of things that I grew up with in terms of remedies towards wellness, maintaining one's health, or alleviating sickness when it, if and when it came. So what do I have here? You'll see vinegar, standard, white rum, standard, a little bit of lemon or lime, some ginger, standard, your little herbal teas. I mean, some standard things. And not only are they standard, they're everyday items, and they are very, very inexpensive. I really don't want to grow older and have to depend upon a pharmaceutical company to create my lifestyle. I'm not saying that there are some real illnesses out there that do require these types of medications, but I'm questioning that why is it that more and more of us seem to be leaning towards those immediately, you know, or we've just kind of drifted onto the path where we require that, and they become like a stable in our lives, and we haven't even explored the whole idea of the old school methods, or not even explored it. We haven't even kept up the tradition of the old school methods, and we just immediately rely on the pharmaceutical companies to, I can't even say heal us. We rely upon them to maintain us in the state of illness. What do? They allow us to manage our illness. That's not health management, you know, that's just managing illness. I'm questioning, why is it that our generation seems to be not as healthy as our parents? And because our parents really, if you think about it, may have experienced poor health in their later years. And it seems that our generation are getting sick early, 40s, 50s, 60s, whereas our parents may have experienced some of these same ailments when they were maybe 60s, 70s, 80s. I think that actually we might be more unhealthy than our parents and grandparents. I really think that we are. Those ads I mentioned to you, those pharmaceutical lifestyle ads, those are promoted for us, the sandwich generation. They're targeting the 40 to the 40, 50, 60, 70, 80-year-olds. Look at some of the people in the ads. They're about our age. Really? So you can imagine if we are accepting of that, what will things be like when our kids, our grandkids get older? I do recognize that, you know, we get sick, we're getting older, the body's slowing down, our lifestyles are very hectic. We're part of that sandwich generation, always juggling our lives, our families, you know, our work, our careers, etc. So I understand all that. I realize that as someone who is now at this stage in life, and also as someone who is taking care of an elderly parent. So in hindsight, let us not so quickly, you know, discard the old school. Let's not so quickly do that at this point in time. See, I know it sounds quirky, you know, I know. It's going to come across that way because we're being very much conditioned to be ill and to just take whatever the doctor or the pharmaceutical company gives us. And I'm not advocating against anyone not following whatever your doctor says. I'm not a doctor. I don't speak for a pharmaceutical company. I'm really speaking for myself. I am simply advocating for not forgetting the old school remedies. Let's not forget those. I thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope that my hindsight has and will inspire you, and that you will find your own way to blossom.